Have you ever taken the law into your own hands? I once had my apartment broken into while I was gone. The thief harmed my dog, and they stole about $12,000 worth of a certain green substance that people enjoy setting on fire for recreational purposes. I had a pretty good idea who did it, and later I was able to confirm my suspicions. Keep in mind that I am not some big bad criminal type, but I was counting on the money from the items stolen to pay my rent, utilities, college tuition, and books. So I made one of the worst decisions of my life, and I went over to this person's apartment, which was in the same complex as mine. I knocked on the door. He answered. I walked past him without saying a word, and I turned around and shut the door. I then produced a pew-pew that had been covered by my shirt. I looked at him, and I very calmly but sternly told him that I knew he was the one who broke into my apartment and that he had about 30 seconds to produce every last bit of what he stole. He complied, and I placed the items into a gym bag I brought with me. I told him that he was dead to me and that I didn't ever want to see him again, that I was aware that his lease was up at the end of the following month and that I strongly suggested he not renew it. I then told him that this was for my dog, and I punched him in the nose. I reholstered my pew-pew, and I walked back to my apartment. I was incredibly calm the entire time I was there, but now I was a bit worried that he might be dumb enough to call the cops despite the fact that he had committed multiple serious felonies himself. I decided to bring the bag and the weapon over to a friend's apartment that was just next door, and I left it there for the rest of the day. I went back home and just went about my day. I cooked dinner for myself and my girlfriend, and fortunately the police never showed up. I never saw the guy again, and he apparently moved out the following month. It wasn't the brightest thing I've ever done, but without the money from the items he stole, I wouldn't have been able to pay my bills or my tuition. Now, I'm an attorney with an MBA in finance. I wouldn't recommend anyone else do what I did. I could have gone to prison for 10 years or more. At the time, I was desperate though, and I couldn't exactly call the cops to have them retrieve my stolen property in this case. Desperation will make people do desperate things. Fortunately for me, things worked out well.